Welcome to this session on the Manual for Inspector-cum-Facilitator. This guide outlines the roles, responsibilities, and best practices for inspectors within the EPFO framework. Inspectors play a dual role as facilitators and enforcers. While facilitating compliance, they also inspect and address non-compliance issues. This balance ensures adherence to EPF rules and safeguards employee interests. An enforcement officer has 4 core roles mainly: facilitator, inspector, district nodal officer, and departmental representative. As a facilitator, guide establishments towards compliance by providing necessary support and clarifications. As an inspector, conduct thorough inspections to verify compliance with EPF rules. Investigate instances of delayed remittances, incorrect records, or employee grievances. Examine financial records, attendance logs, and statutory documents during audits. Submit detailed inspection reports to the controlling officer within stipulated timelines. Proactively identify and address evasion or non-compliance to ensure adherence to EPFO rules and regulations. District nodal officers coordinate district-level activities, including outreach programs and industrial accident management. They manage initiatives like Nidhi Aapke Nikat 2.0 and facilitate joint declarations. Additionally, they liaise with vulnerable workers to ensure their inclusion and compliance under EPFO regulations. In case of joint declarations, correcting errors in member details. Verification tasks for inspectors. Investigating discrepancies. Uploading detailed reports within 3 days. While liaising with vulnerable workers, conduct surveys to map industries and sectors employing vulnerable workers. Conduct interactive outreach programs, including small group meetings. Utilize intelligence from local bodies, NGOs, and district authorities to track their employment conditions. Gain the confidence of workers by addressing their concerns empathetically. Reassure workers that sharing information will not lead to retaliation from employers. Educate workers about their social security rights, EPF membership benefits, and grievance redressal mechanisms. Demonstrate EPFO's digital tools like the Umang app for ease of access. Thus, facilitate enrollment. Ensure employers enroll all eligible workers under EPF. Monitor and address instances where contractors or employers exclude vulnerable groups from social security coverage. Support families of deceased workers by monitoring death claims within the district. Assisting with claim formalities and documentation. Coordinating with employers to expedite benefits under EDLI, pension, and EPF schemes. Departmental representatives play a crucial role in safeguarding employee interests. They attend hearings under Sections 7A, 7B, and 7C, collaborate with legal teams to gather evidence and documentation for prosecutions, and provide factual, accurate reports to adjudicating authorities. They ensure timely filing and resolution of cases against defaulting employers and represent EPFO in legal matters to ensure compliance during judicial proceedings. In the event of industrial accidents, the district nodal officer ensures timely coordination and response. Their responsibilities include supporting affected workers, managing compliance-related issues, and liaising with local authorities to fulfill statutory obligations efficiently. Inspectors must maintain well-organized and up-to-date records in their designated workspace. Essential records include financial documents, details of employer remittances, outstanding dues, and recovery actions. Inspection reports, comprehensive documentation from previous inspections, including findings and recommendations. Attendance logs, records of employee attendance to validate compliance with statutory requirements. Desk review reports, periodic summaries highlighting compliance trends and gaps. Statutory documentation, records mandated under EPFO rules, including Form 5A monthly returns and remittance details. These records serve as the foundation for effective inspections, follow-ups, and addressing grievances promptly. Maintaining them in an easily accessible format enhances efficiency and ensures accountability. Inspection of establishments is undertaken to allow verification of records. Inspections are initiated based on specific triggers, each demanding a focused and strategic approach. Key triggers include delayed remittances. Establishments failing to deposit contributions on time are flagged for immediate inspection to address potential non-compliance. Employee complaints. Reports of grievances, such as non-enrollment or incorrect remittances, necessitate field visits to verify claims and ensure resolution. Discrepancies in returns. Irregularities in employer-submitted documents, such as mismatched data or missing entries, prompt detailed audits. Intelligence inputs. Tips from local authorities, NGOs, or other reliable sources about possible non-compliance drive targeted inspections. High-risk sectors. Industries with a history of evasion or poor compliance are periodically reviewed to ensure adherence to EPF rules. Random selection. Establishments are also chosen randomly as part of routine checks to maintain an element of unpredictability and encourage voluntary compliance. Inspectors must tailor their inspection strategy based on the specific trigger to maximize effectiveness and ensure adherence to statutory norms. Preparation is critical for conducting effective inspections. Steps to prepare include: review records, analyze prior inspection reports, desk review summaries, and financial data to identify areas of concern. Understand establishment profiles. Familiarize yourself with the establishment's operations, workforce size, and compliance history to contextualize findings. Plan inspection objectives. Define clear goals for the inspection, such as verifying remittances, assessing employee grievances, or addressing flagged discrepancies. Coordinate with relevant authorities. Engage with district nodal officers, legal teams, or other stakeholders to ensure a well-rounded approach. Prepare necessary tools, carry checklists, official identification, and access to the Sharam Suvidha portal to document findings effectively. Anticipate challenges. Be ready to address potential hurdles, such as uncooperative employers or missing records, by planning contingency actions. Effective preparation sets the stage for a thorough and impactful inspection, ensuring issues are identified and resolved efficiently. Inspectors must examine financial records, attendance logs, and other statutory documents. They should interview employees to verify compliance and gather evidence of any violations. Detailed documentation of findings is essential during this phase. After completing an inspection, inspectors are required to upload detailed reports on the Sharam Suvidha portal within 48 hours. Reports should include instances of non-compliance, evasion, and recommendations for corrective actions. Follow-up actions involve monitoring compliance and initiating recovery proceedings for unpaid dues, if necessary. Inspectors should also communicate with the establishment to ensure rectification of issues highlighted in the report and track progress. Before judicial proceedings, inspectors must prepare thoroughly by reviewing all collected evidence, including inspection reports, complaint verification, and financial discrepancies. During proceedings, they must present findings clearly, provide accurate details of violations, and explain their implications. It is crucial to answer questions from the judicial authority confidently and ensure EPFO's interests are represented effectively. Post-hearing, inspectors should document outcomes and update compliance records. Inspectors are involved in each stage of proceedings. Before proceedings, collect and verify records supporting the case. Submit pre-hearing reports to the legal branch. Notify employers and employees involved. During proceedings, present evidence clearly and concisely. Respond to queries raised by the adjudicating authority. Maintain professionalism and avoid any bias. After proceedings, ensure implementation of orders passed by the authority. Initiate recovery proceedings for unpaid dues as per orders. Update case status in the legal database. Inspectors collaborate with legal teams to build robust cases against non-compliant employers. They ensure the accuracy of documentation, compile evidence such as records of delayed remittances or employee grievances, and support legal proceedings by providing insights and factual data. Active participation in discussions with prosecuting authorities and timely submission of evidence are key aspects of their role. Inspectors must also track the progress of prosecutions and ensure penalties or recoveries are implemented. During the closure of establishments, inspectors verify that all statutory obligations are met. They ensure settlement of employee dues, such as unpaid contributions and pending wages, and confirm the closure does not leave employees unprotected. This involves thorough checking of final remittances, verification of attendance records, and resolution of grievances related to non-enrollment. Inspectors should also provide guidance to employers for fulfilling closure-related compliance. In ways of closure of establishment following activities are undertaken. Asset evaluation for recovery. Conduct a thorough evaluation of the employer's assets and liabilities. If dues are pending, initiate recovery actions under Section 8F of the EPF Act, Attachment of Property. Coordinate with recovery officers for timely action. Employee communication and support. Inform employees about their rights and entitlements during the closure. Set up grievance redressal mechanisms to address workers' concerns. Guide employees in navigating EPFO's digital platforms for claim processing. Coordination with other authorities. Work closely with Regional Provident Fund Commissioner, RPFC. Legal and compliance branches of EPFO. State labor authorities and insolvency professionals. Ensure seamless communication between all stakeholders involved in the closure process. In cases of compliant verification, inspectors begin by reviewing the nature of complaints received, identifying whether they pertain to delayed remittances, incorrect employee details, or non-enrollment. This step involves cross-checking complaint details against periodic desk review reports, establishment e-reports, and financial documents. Inspectors must determine if the complaint is valid and falls under EPFO's purview before proceeding to field verification. Field verification requires on-site inspections to validate complaints. Inspectors must review primary records such as salary registers, attendance logs, and contribution receipts. They conduct interviews with employees to gather first-hand accounts of non-compliance. Comparing field findings with employer-submitted data helps in establishing the veracity of complaints. Inspectors notify employers about the complaints filed and request explanations along with supporting documents. They must provide detailed feedback and guidance on resolving issues, ensuring employers understand their compliance obligations. This interaction is pivotal for fostering cooperation and addressing root causes of non-compliance. Inspectors compile findings into a comprehensive report that summarizes the nature of the complaint, investigation results, and recommended corrective measures. This report is then submitted to the controlling officer or uploaded to the designated portal. Ensuring follow-up actions are taken to resolve the complaint completely is a critical part of their responsibility. Inspectors play an important role in complaint resolution. Grievance categorization. Classify complaints into employee grievances, issues related to EPF claims, non-enrollment, or delayed settlements. Employer non-compliance, defaults in contributions, incorrect filings, or evasion. Prioritize urgent grievances, such as pension claims or death-related benefits. Complaint resolution process. Employee grievances. Assist employees in filing claims through EPFO's online platforms. Guide them in correcting UAN, KYC, or other record discrepancies. Escalate unresolved issues to higher authorities for expedited resolution. Employer non-compliance. Issue notices for rectification or compliance. If necessary, initiate proceedings under Section 7A or recommend penalties under Section 14. Collaboration. Coordinate with EPFO's grievance portals, example EPFO. Legal and compliance branches for complex cases. District authorities or industry associations for mass grievances. Inspectors monitor compliance with recovery notices issued for unpaid dues. This includes periodic reviews of payment statuses and initiating further legal actions if required. Collaboration with recovery officers and using measures like asset attachment or garnishment ensures effective enforcement. Responsibilities involve communication with employers. Conduct meetings to explain outstanding liabilities and recovery procedures. Encourage voluntary compliance to avoid legal action. Coordination with recovery officers. Collaborate with designated recovery officers to initiate attachment or auction proceedings for defaulting establishments. Follow up on recovery progress and ensure adherence to timelines. Recovery methods involve a structured approach, starting with issuing recovery certificates to defaulting employers. Inspectors coordinate with enforcement teams to attach employer assets, garnish wages, or take other legal measures to recover outstanding amounts. Regular monitoring of recovery actions ensures timely resolution. Facilitating new coverage involves guiding newly registered establishments on compliance requirements. Inspectors ensure all eligible employees are enrolled in EPFO and provide continuous support to employers for maintaining accurate records and timely remittances. Addressing queries and conducting initial audits are also part of their role. Educate employers about their obligations under EPFO regulations. Assist in the registration process. Guidance on filing Form 5A, ownership details. Creating and activating universal account numbers, UANs, for employees. Monitoring compliance. Regularly review newly registered establishments for adherence to timely remittance of contributions. Employee enrollment and accurate KYC details. Conduct follow-up visits or desk reviews to ensure sustained compliance. Inspectors monitor composite establishments with multiple branches or operations, ensuring uniform compliance across all units. This includes verifying that employee contributions and remittances are consistent and all eligible employees are covered, regardless of the unit they belong to. Steps include verifying establishment registrations, conducting detailed audits, and identifying compliance gaps. Regular follow-ups with employers and ensuring all branches maintain proper records are key to effective monitoring. Providing detailed feedback to controlling officers supports long-term compliance. Increasing coverage requires survey and identification. Use intelligence and data sources to locate uncovered or partially covered establishments. Conduct field visits for on-ground verification. Employer outreach. Organize awareness programs for newly covered sectors. Provide guidance on registration and compliance procedures. Document review. Scrutinize statutory records, including payrolls, attendance logs, and tax filings. Identify underreported wages or unregistered employees. Follow-up action. Serve notices to establishments failing to comply with EPFO regulations. Recommend legal action for willful evasion or persistent non-compliance. Surveys are conducted to identify establishments not complying with EPFO regulations. Inspectors evaluate records, gather intelligence, and prepare detailed reports highlighting compliance gaps. Recommendations are submitted to authorities for corrective action. Planning the survey. Collaborate with regional and district offices to identify areas with potential non-compliance. Use intelligence from various sources such as prioritize high-risk sectors like construction, gig economy, small-scale industries, and informal workers. Executing the survey. Conduct physical visits to industrial zones, business hubs, and marketplaces. Collect data on. Verify whether establishments meet EPFO coverage criteria, 20 or more employees. Data collection and analysis is very important. Gather information from local sources, including trade unions and worker associations. Contractors and subcontractors for indirect employment verification. Cross-check survey findings with EPFO's database to identify discrepancies. Special drives target high-risk sectors or areas with low compliance. Key focus areas. Uncovered establishments. Identify new businesses or industries that have not registered under EPFO. Evasion detection. Investigate cases of intentional underreporting of wages or employee strength. Vulnerable workers. Extend social security to contract workers, informal employees, and gig workers. Inspectors should plan and execute these drives systematically, focusing on increasing enrollment, addressing grievances, and rectifying compliance issues in a time-bound manner. Strategies for special drives. Collaborate with local authorities and trade associations to organize awareness campaigns. Use targeted communication tools such as banners, leaflets, and digital outreach. Conduct site visits for mass enrollment of uncovered employees. Inspectors should utilize digital tools, such as compliance dashboards and data analytics, to identify patterns of non-compliance. Collaborating with local authorities, NGOs, and internal departments enhances the effectiveness of surveys and drives. Regular training ensures inspectors remain updated on best practices. A well-structured program balances facilitation and enforcement activities. Inspectors should document their schedules, activities, and findings comprehensively. Regular communication with controlling officers ensures alignment with organizational goals. Tour diaries are critical for maintaining records of inspection visits, findings, and follow-ups. They help in tracking progress, identifying recurring issues, and ensuring transparency in inspection processes. Accurate and timely updates in diaries reflect the effectiveness of inspection activities.